what's up? It's Sifu Kuttel, and in this video, we're going to be doing a little bit of a different Kung Fu combination. Usually for Kung Fu combo, we put a couple of movements together, we work on those a couple of times, and then you can go explore and have fun with different techniques. But in this particular video, we're going to take a look at one single technique. And the reason behind this is there's a couple of elements to it that make it a more advanced and difficult technique, but I think it's a really nice one to know, especially if you're working with a very particular weapon, and that is the Dai Pa, or the tiger fork, or the trident. So this is something that I find really special because it kind of branches the gap between traditional Chinese martial arts into things like Chinese opera and Chinese acrobatics. So you can sometimes see some really fancy trident work, and a more modern term is contact juggling. And we can do that with one of the fundamental techniques of spinning the trident into an uppercut. So basically, I'm going to start with a double end grip. I'm going to do this fancy technique, end with a single end grip, and then we'll do an upward scooping technique to cut up to the face. Now the process here is very fancy. So what we're going to do is spin the trident, move it around our body, and then finish by switching hands and then into that upward strike. But I don't want to get there too soon. Let's start with the double end grip. Work at your balance position, so you might find that your front hand is a little bit closer to the head of the trident. And then I want you to spin and bring both hands up. This is the most important part first, is that you're able to do this. Now, when you feel comfortable in cranking the hands, getting a good spin on the trident, we're going to let go and let it roll up our arm. Notice my hand kind of goes sideways here, and I let it roll up actually the bone of my forearm. So again, as this comes up, my hand slides underneath, and notice it just keeps rolling. So work on this, get real comfortable, and if you get you get some extended time of the trident rolling on your arm, you can sit here like that. That's a good sign. Now, the next part, let's take this spin out and just focus on the contact itself. We're going to slide it on the arm, bring our hand up, and similar to a broadsword technique, we're going to bring it around the shoulders, around the back, and then down our arm to the other side. Now, if I'm right-handed and I have my right hand forward, this is going to be my left hand that's guiding this around. It's going to roll around my right arm and then come down to my left arm. Once it's here, I'm just going to tip it off and then get back to my right hand. Okay, so again, keep it comfortable, slide it down the arm, slide it around the body, bring it around the head, and then down. Try not to do any kind of ducking or moving extra with your upper body, because that's going to create bad habits. You want to make sure you make contact in the right places and you do it consistently every single time. Now, the next step is to be able to do this with the spin. This is where it's going to get a little complicated, not just because the spinning part, but our other hand, to maintain contact and keep control of it, we have to have some kind of contact on the weapon. But to let it spin, we also have to let it slide in our hand. So watch as I do this. Notice again, I'm starting a little bit closer to the head of the weapon. I'm starting at the fork, and if I'm starting with my backhand, it's still kind of closer to the actual center of the entire weapon. And once I start spinning and bring my hand around, by the time it comes around, my hand is towards the base of the weapon. So as I'm controlling and bringing it out, I'm letting go of it slightly. So the whole time my hand is sliding away from it as I'm controlling it and bringing it around. And this is where it requires a lot of extra feeling to get used to that, to get comfortable with bringing it around the head and not worrying about grabbing too hard or trying to speed up the process. Okay, so again, right here, as I spin, bring it around, my hand is just sliding with it until I end up again on my forearm. Now, when you finally get comfortable with that, you can bring it around. You want to let it continue to roll. Notice I bring my other hand down, I switch, and as it's rolling down my forearm, now my backhand is going to be sliding down this way, and that's finally where I can do the last hand exchange. But you want to keep that momentum spinning as we go around here, and then again here, and then bringing it over to this side. So again, get real comfortable. You want to make sure that there is control and still letting your hands slide as it's spinning, but you do have to have some friction, otherwise it will stop on its own. It's spinning because it's rolling along your body, and that's really difficult to do. Now, technique to technique, let's start from here. You could even start from a poking technique, change to double end grip, slide, bring it around the head, flip it off the arm, and then we're gonna come up to finish the technique with an upward scoop. Okay, so again, I can start with my poke from here, slide, bring it all the way around, switch hands, flip, and then up on this side. Now, if that's not enough for you, add a spin. When I spin with this, what I like to think of doing is keeping the head of the weapon and pointing in the same direction. So if I don't spin, it points behind me, it comes over to the side, it points that way, comes up and over, and then I finish in this position. For most of the technique, I want to think of the spin happening, and I move kind of around it. I keep it in that same direction, and then I can come up with my final strike to the intended direction. So again, from here, from the poke, raising up, spinning around the body, and then coming up, striking right here. Again, if I start my poke on this side, right here, start the spin around the shoulders, continue the spin, and then I strike up here. One last time from here, right here, spinning around the body, getting that extra flip, and then finishing the technique with the upward scoop. This is not easy. This is an advanced level technique, and this gets you into more of the acrobatic contact juggling, and there's a lot that you can do from there. But this is an excellent start, especially when it comes to a weapon as cool as the taipa or the trident or the tiger fork, as I typically call it. Now, if you have any questions, drop a comment down below. Otherwise, make sure to hit that like button. And as always, be sure to subscribe. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Check out my other Kung Fu combos with the Trident so you have more striking and blocking and defending options, and you can actually put together something pretty nice for your own training. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.
Bam.